All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today we have a full episode of Card Talk. We've got What's on Your Mind. We're talking about a Kaboom checklist, Facebook Q&A, rapid fire. Hopefully Tyler can abide by the rules. We got Play of the Week. We got latest launch. But first, before we get into What's on Your Mind, we've got to start with the weekend that Tyler had in sports. Lou, yours wasn't much better, but the Astros are playing for the World Series. So, Jets. Lou, I guess you have Georgia now, not Michigan.
It's baseball and college football season.
See, this is Lou. But Tyler, you had a rough weekend. Want to start first things first. 13-54. Jets, Patriots, ass whooping.
I didn't watch the game.
I love it. There's too much green on this show. The dang logo's green. All I heard about the whole before the season started was Jets are going to win 9 games. They're going to be good. Zach Wilson for Rookie of the Year. They stink. They're bad.
Do you think it was fair for the officials to not call those 2 penalties on Zach?
Do you think that made the difference in 13-54?
No.
I mean, I think if we have a healthy quarterback, anything's possible. I think, the Patriots in their typical dirty, cheating ways decided to shoot below the knees on a young quarterback, and now he has a messed up PCL, and he's out for at least 4 weeks, I think.
He still stinks.
You stink.
They stink.
You stink.
They stink so
You
bad.
stink.
We stink.
Yeah, the Jets are bad.
All sports
That's not true.
collectively.
No.
But
Lou's like, don't lump me into your mess.
I get buried for having something on my mind like every week, and then Ryan just starts the show with just before you go on What's on Your Mind, I'm just gonna bury y'all.
I agree.
So we're starting this thing off.
Have to.
I agree.
Sometimes
It
you
was-
just got to remind you.
It was very impolite of what he
I
did.
was like, okay, I was gonna bury myself. How about that one?
All right, go on.
Yeah, I didn't realize college football turned into like who can get 3 yards more than the other person. That was the dumbest thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
When did that change?
That
happen?
is so bad. It's so bad. And we're even worse for not being able to win that. But that was bad. It reminded me of old school Big Ten bad football. And Penn State's going to get the brakes beaten off of them by Ohio State on Saturday night at Ohio State.
Rakes beat.
Yeah, we'll probably score 7. I think it's like a 24-7, 31-7 because our D is nice. We're the best defense you've played. No doubt about it.
Oh, yeah, no question. Absolutely.
So, I don't think you'll hang crazy numbers, but we're not going to do much against you guys. Let me go positive energy. F1, Austin was sweet. That was sweet. I watched that on Sunday. And if there's one job that I want to have in my life, it's the guy on the grid pre-race that just runs around sticking the mic in people's faces.
It's
trying to
a
catch
great
quick
job.
interview.
It's a great job.
I literally think I'm going to just send them an email and be like, what's up? Can I resonate in training? What can I do? Because that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And Rory McIlroy was really cool because most people were caught off guard by like a quick interview. They're like, whoa, I'm not prepared for this. He was like, I'm good. I'm chilling.
There was also like 300,000 people there, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I thought it was over 400,000 people.
Something like that.
They
300,000.
said it was up 50% since the last time there was an F1 race in the United States.
It's a lot of people.
It was lit.
Go ahead, Doug.
Lewis Hamilton out the gate, boom, passed them, but then took the L long term. But that was
True. Fact.
Cool.
Lou, who do you real quick? Who do you want to win?
The driver championship?
Yeah.
Lewis.
Okay. I feel the same way. I had a lot of people like I see on Twitter and Instagram like rooting for Max, and I just I've watched the documentary. We're about a season and a half in, and I just this. I don't like him. I'm not a Max guy. I would much rather see Lewis win.
I'm not a Max guy either, but either way, people, I think you know how it is. People see the best driver or whatever, and they want to do something different, and so people roll with Max to be different from Lewis.
100%.
Can we talk about the difference in the two kind of cards, their card stuff?
Yes.
Is Lewis selling? I don't
significantly, I would say. Lewis's stuff is definitely higher. He's just got it. He's on
Outrageous.
a different level of like fame and success compared to Max.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually tap into culture, like early days of Card Talk that we talked a lot about, Pokemon, those things. Lewis Hamilton is like across every single genre, like
Cool.
goated by the top people.
Yeah, he's like the coolest according to the coolest people.
Yeah, the coolest people in the world want to hang out with Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, speaks
Look,
volumes.
if you can drive fast, you can go places.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
like I
what's
can
on my
drive in
mind.
circles too. You know, I'm totally
Wait,
kidding.
bro, he doesn't drive in
I'm
circles.
totally kidding. I'm totally
Don't
kidding.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. me now.
Yeah, I've started. We Reg and I have binge watched. I mean, not binge watched, but like we probably watched 10 episodes in the last week. That I love it. It's so well done. It's so. I wish I would have started it earlier so I could have got through it. I should have. So I could have gotten through it already. But man, the documentary is really really well done.
Yeah, everyone gets mad when we talk about F1 too much on the show. So let's move on.
Yeah, and college football can't do.
But actually, I get a lot of love about it. Other thing, I'll acknowledge the Tyler Hero, Grayson Allen take 3 games in. Like people think Tyler Hero is all of a sudden like the MVP of the league and all that stuff.
He did drop 30 off the bench.
and 10, 30 and,
And-
10.
I got it. What they win by like 35 points.
30 and 10 is 30 and 10.
30 and 10, 30 and 10.
Grayson Allen
I
put up
get
30
it.
and 10.
I'm eating it right now. I'm eating it. I'm acknowledging that I'm eating it. That's all
Credit
I'm
to you
doing.
for that. Ryan would never do that.
I'm eating it. It was a bad
Hey,
take.
I did eat it on Josh Allen. That was one I was way off on.
He's
I've
really
eaten-
good.
Yeah, I've eaten him before. I like Lou's comment though, real quick on Instagram when someone said something about like Lou and I talking about the Astros and Lou saying Ryan not apologizing. That speaks volumes. And then tagging me. Yeah, so that was definitely one thing I was, hopelessly optimistic that the Astros would lose, but they didn't. They found a way to win 3.
They're not losing this round either, brother.
And that's all I keep. Again, I don't watch
Y'all
baseball
really
too
about
much.
to
I want
win
the
it?
Braves to win. I've been clear about that. I've got some friends that are good friends that are Braves fans, but like I don't talk to anybody that's like, yeah, Braves got this one for sure. They're winning for sure.
There's
Most
no
people
one
I've
on earth who thinks that.
like Astros big favorites going into this.
No, I think it's like minus 160, something like that, series price. But they're not going to make it that lopsided in the World Series.
You think it's going to be like 5 games?
I would be surprised if the Astros 1-7. They're not going to lose. The question is, how many games does it go?
My man Lou said they're not gonna lose.
They're not. I'm not even not.
Yo. Topps Chrome Sapphire Gold Refractor Lewis Hamilton of 50 did 15 grand off 74 bids on Pro.
Tyler's learning about F1 cards in real time right now. He didn't understand what was happening.
Bands, raw.
Yeah, dog. It's real.
Yeah, look at some of his autos.
Yeah, look at the autos.
They're
Look at the
outrageous.
look at the Topps Chromes.
Market's kind of warm right now.
It's
Not warm.
It's been warm for a while.
it's being nuked. You know, like you throw it in the
I
microwave.
mean the macro market.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Ryan, are you feeling it at the shop?
What?
Busy action?
It's been very very hot and very cold. Like there are some days where it's like crazy busy, like great days for the month of October, and then there are days like I hope McDonald's is hiring. Like I got to go get a job. Like this place is dead. Like I'm just right. It's like it's It's funny because I follow a lot of card ladders content, but Chris put out something like beginning of October that talked about like a dead period in cards from, I don't remember the exact dates. Jay, maybe Jay wants to look at that. It's I want to say it's like middle of October through like November 6th. There's a dead time, and he actually gave like data as to why it is a slower period. I'm seeing if I can pull it up. It was actually very, very interesting to look at. So it's just been fun it's not been fun, but it's been like interesting to kind of see that and then be like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely week over week has been a little bit slower. Yeah, right here. So it's called, why does the sports card market dip in October and November? It says the hobby Bermuda Triangle, October 5th through November 3rd. The 3 largest leagues have important events that overlap during this window. Americans have 5 hours of leisure time per day. The average collector probably allocates 1 to 2 hours per day to the hobby on average. During the hobby Bermuda Triangle, leisure time normally set aside to enjoy the hobby, visiting LCS, browsing online marketplaces, etc., is diverted to watching the MLB playoffs, the NFL regular season, and NBA pre and regular season. In the aggregate, less time spent buying sports cards leads to less money spent on sports cards, which leads to temporary declining prices and daily sales volume decreasing.
So basically what we're getting at here is like, if you decide to like spend time with your family, you don't buy cards as much. Is that what we're getting at here? Spend time with your family, hang out with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also important that like you're watching sports events, you're not like sitting in front of eBay buying cards. They said on here, it says what happened in 2020. It says in between August 30th and October 25th, the Card Ladder 50 lost 15% of its value in uninterrupted free fall. And then it said, yeah, so that same time period, Card Ladder 50.
Then it's stabilized.
Yep. And then it says zoom out and see what happens after the triangle. And then it goes up a little bit.
Interesting. That's so not my behavior with cards.
So he's got 3 takeaways, Ty, real quick.
Yeah, bring it.
It says, look for a market dip during this time period. It is caused by a temporary surge in high-stakes national TV sporting events, diverting attention away from buying and selling cards. Once collectors regain some of their leisure time, they will probably allocate it to the hobby once more.
It's an interesting take. He's got the data, so I'm not going to super debate it. I just think most people watch sports with a second screen. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. It like doesn't line up with how I like consume sports.
And growing up, I was so obsessed with the Bermuda Triangle. Like I used to go to the library and get books on the fucking Bermuda Triangle. And then lastly, Ryan, I want to put you on the spot about something. I really would like you to come to New York. And I think that we should do a Card Talk Bleecker street cards trade night, New York City style.
Yeah, I've actually had some conversations with one of the guys that works at Bleecker. We were talking about it before. Just been kind of busy the last couple of months. So I haven't done it.
Yeah, of course. But I think it'd be a cool night. We do a little live pod, do a little trade night.
Never been to New York.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Love to have you.
First time.
City needs you.
All right, let's move on into. Let's get into the Kaboom checklist because I saw you guys talking about this a little bit yesterday. Kaboom checklist just came out. Absolute Football drops Wednesday, so we're recording this on Tuesday, so it'll drop when the episode drops. It's a 50 card checklist. 50 cards. There are some rookies in here. Some of the notable ones: Trevor Lawrence, Lance, Fields, Mac Jones, Najee Harris. But as
Randy Moss.
What?
There's Randy Moss on there.
Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Buccaneers, Chase Young, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Donald, I believe is the first timer. Julio, Kyler Murray, Marino, Manning, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Darren Waller.
He's got banged up, right?
Respectfully, who's looking for a Darren Waller Kaboom?
Darren Waller probably doesn't have a ton of cards. I bet that sells better than you might think.
Darren Waller is one of the better players I've watched in the league in the last 10 years. Just like he's really good.
Good ball player.
But shout out to Loupe for the comment that people are definitely looking for Travis Etienne, who has done so much this year compared to Zach Wilson, who is not on the checklist.
Like, what are we doing? It's not even about Zach. Like, is Mac Jones on here?
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's
all
going to stack like 4 rings.
4 of the 5 rookie quarterbacks are on there. It is not Zach Wilson.
How is that possible?
Zach Wilson is not on there.
Yeah, Julio Jones, shout out to Card Ladder, Christian McCaffrey, but like, come on, man, what are we doing?
Yeah, so the rookies included in this set, there's 10 of them: Lawrence, Trey Lance, Fields, Mac Jones, Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts, Etienne, and Najee Harris. There's no Zach Wilson.
Good thing we're getting that TJ Watt Kaboom.
He's great, dude. He's the top 3 defensive player in the league.
Bro,
Zach Wilson stinks. Out. Maybe this is Panini telling you guys, hey,
you know who else stinks?
Who?
Trey Lance, Justin Fields stinks. Trevor Lawrence has been
Hey,
bad. Mac Jones has been bad.
I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it because we need one Ohio State quarterback to be good for one time.
It probably won't
shout out to
happen.
Tom Brady for dissing us the other day on the podium, but man, Fields down bad.
Is he down bad, or is Chicago just super down bad in
he's
general?
not playing good either.
He kind of doesn't look great. They stink too, but
yeah, Ohio State generally.
Ohio State breeds.
Hey guys, we gotta stop the college football talk.
Right.
I thought you were cursing
we get absolutely buried in comments for.
I think people like it. People like it a little bit, but we can keep it going. What's next?
What'd you say, Lou?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, I'm like, number one, I'm surprised by how many there are. Does that seem like a lot to you, Ryan, or am I wrong?
It seems like more than normal, but this is expected when the whole world gets on Kabooms and you have Giannis 101 Kabooms doing 100K. This is what happens, right? When the Kaboom market explodes, this kind of stuff gets added.
That's true. Regardless of my Jets fan, though, I do find it interesting that they didn't put Zach in there. I don't know why they did that.
As much as I hate the Jets, it is wild that you don't put the number 2 pick in the draft in a Kaboom set. That seems crazy, but it seems like they would have one later in the year in some product, right? Seems unlikely that Zach Wilson has no rookie Kaboom ever.
Do you think they're going to put him in something else? Like, will he have a color blast or something?
Could they do Kaboom packs?
Kaboom
packs might be out the league before any of this comes to fruition.
That is true. You're not wrong there. But
bro, we just traded for Joe Flacco.
Brother, I didn't say the Jets are good. They stink. We started the show with that. All right, let's
give me some Q&A here. Or auction sales are off the Jets.
Tyler, you had I saw you were chatting it up in the group chat yesterday about it, but some of the recent auction sales and what some of that means for the card market.
Yeah, it just feels like across Goldin, across PWCC, eBay, over the past 3-4 days, it just feels like stuff has really been going off, at numbers. Mbappe 2018 World Cup is a card that's so like near and dear to my heart and my, kind of involvement in the hobby. The gold did record numbers, highest Mbappe card ever sold is what it said. There was a little messy like his like membership badge of his old club.
Yeah, it's like when he was like a kid.
Numbers. You got that LeBron logo mans are base $1 million. One like logo man autos are $1 million nowadays.
But it didn't sell for $1 million.
I thought it did. Didn't it do like,
it did like 775? I thought
it did 1 and change.
I'll double check, man. I could have sworn it did not.
What are we looking for right now? I'm pulling it up.
The LeBron logo man. That's sold on Goldin.
But the most shocking, the biggest takeaway for me was the Charizard Shadowless PSA 10 that did 105K, including buyer's premium. And I just, with the explosion that Pokemon cards had, and then kind of what crawled back probably about 50% of their highs, to see that card do that was pretty, I think, just an indicator to me of where we're at least on the Pokemon collectability side. There's still so much there. We forget about time. 10 years from now, it's going to be even more ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. The Pokemon sale was very interesting to me. I'm still trying to understand how they got there with that, but whatever. The number is a number, so I'm interested. But I also like the Ovechkin did like 105. There was the
highest Ovechkin ever.
Yeah, the Naomi did like 42, I think, something like that.
So
it's got fire. Yeah, it was a RPA.
Yeah, it was a
Exquisite?
Upper Deck the clip. I've never even heard. The cup. It says the clip.
It was beautiful.
At a 99, like RPA.
It's happening, by the way, with hockey and ESPN.
Yeah,
last night, Monday Night Football, like running hockey promos.
Yeah, it's just like on.
Yeah.
Like
If you open
all
the
the time.
ESPN app, because I do everything on streaming now, there's literally just always hockey games that you can fire up.
Yeah, because they're pushing the hell out of it on ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
Tennis,
find
Osaka, Serena, Alexis Ohanian gave a little on that. It just feels like the things that make sense are there's momentum behind all of them.
Right. Jason said 1.7 million.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, the two LeBrons. That was the two talking points I was going to talk about.
Cool.
I'm trying to find the LeBron logo, man, because I didn't think it sold for that.
I thought I saw a tweet about it, but
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
okay.
Joe man.
Yeah, sold for $707,000.
707.
$707,250.
You're saying that's low, right?
Yeah, like I honestly, I was actually surprised by both LeBrons because the exquisite jersey number. I was talking with a couple people about this. I am not like in the 7-figure card world, so this is a whole different ball game. I understand, but the LeBron exquisite jersey number 23 of 99 patch auto seems low at 2.4 million compared to some of the other LeBron sales. Like the last one did like 1.7 million in April. Like that to me is LeBron's best rookie card. Like I understand if there's like a Jordan LeBron logo man dual 101, but like LeBron's best true rookie card, that is it. That is LeBron James' best. That's like a holy grail for modern day basketball cards. The 23 of 99 exquisite RPA to do 700,000 more than the one that sold in April. Like that seems like the person that sells that one day is going to get $5 to $8 million for that card.
I wish I could see the like bidding volume on these. Meaning, like, was it two people who got in a back and forth in the extended bidding, and one of them just gave up a lot earlier than people thought they would, or like how does that all work? Because I think you're right. Like I think a lot of people were expecting it to go for a lot more, and I think this would qualify as like a disappointment in terms of like final number. But when you get up the cards that high, it's so difficult to get. Because, it's like, all right, is it 2.7 or 2.4? Like, what are we talking about? 3.1, 3.5? Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm not trying to downplay the amount of money. That's a ton of money. I just, for like LeBron James' best true rookie card, that seems like I would have guessed it would have done a bit more than that. But same thing with the LeBron logo man. I would love to know, like, I'm sure there's a LeBron collector out there that has the exact number, but like, how many logo man autos does LeBron have? It seems like the next, like from here on out, you'll see LeBron logo mans go for like $1 million. They're just not going to pop up. Like I can't imagine there's like 50 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Serena auto to 44K. Whew.
All right, let's some cool auctions, but let's get into some Q&A. So these are all going to be from I think most of these will be from Facebook. The Card Talk Facebook group. If you guys have not signed up for that, go join that. Jason's grabbing questions from there. So we're going to do rapid fire Q&A from Facebook. So these are meant to be 30 to 60 second answers from the questions we got on Facebook this week. All right, so this is going to be from Charles Bumgardner on there. It says, with AEW cards coming out soon, what do you think of the wrestling market going forward, vintage and current? So I just saw this morning that AEW signed an exclusive trading card deal. What is it, WWE?
You're talking about Panini?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Panini.
Is it Panini? Was it that
and
one?
WWE.
Gotcha. WWE just signed an exclusive deal with Panini for trading cards. I'll be honest, I'm not involved in wrestling at all. Like I think I collect some UFC stuff, but I would be lying if I told you I had an opinion on something like this. I just don't know anything about it.
I'll say this for wrestling. I think wrestling fans are some of the most loyal and excited fans about their thing when it, like
I can get behind that.
Over just about anything. So I think there'll always be a ton of like brand loyalty with WWE. AEW will always attract the like smart like crowd of wrestling fans, like people who think that they are seasoned wrestling viewers and all that stuff. So I'm a big fan of the cards. I'm not quite sure there'll be an expansion like you see with a basketball or football or baseball, which I don't necessarily think people expect, but for the purposes of the question.
Royal Rumble is one of the coolest events ever. That's about what I got on wrestling.
Not many things cooler.
Video game moments of all time.
All right, so the next one is from Alexander. I apologize if I say this incorrectly. Alexander Ribator. It says, "What will happen to Panini and Topps cards when Fanatics will take over? Will it ever be more rare? Will it ever be more rare, so more value? So, like, will Topps and Panini stuff go up or down when Fanatics takes over?" I've always said, again, I've been very open about this, about my belief in wax. I believe as time passes and the supply goes down as breakers and people open them, they become more rare and increase in value, especially if there's something in there to chase. I'm not saying buy the worst product you can think of for both and then keep those forever, but I typically believe that as Loupe 18-19 Prizm basketball year, whatever, 18-19 Prizm basketball, as that stuff goes down the road in time and people still have that it becomes more rare. So I don't think Fanatics has anything to, in my opinion, doesn't have anything to do with the price of wax. I think it's just I don't think it affects it. I don't think it affects the value of the wax too much. I don't think it's a big factor there.
I agree. I think sometimes when we talk about I think people get really interested in older cards of current athletes. So the Topps UFC card, I think people get really excited about. I don't necessarily think it's because it's no longer printed, it's more valuable. It's just about who the people are that are on the cards more than anything.
I would just look at 86 Fleer. It's happened, right? These things have happened. Is 86 Fleer more valuable because Fleer doesn't make basketball cards anymore, or is 86 Fleer valuable because the time that's passed, because of what it meant, because of the nostalgia, because of the people that are able to have purchase power at that was their era. So licenses have changed hands. Oh, I mean, NHL the rights to broadcast goes to ESPN. These things happen more than I think people give credit to, and I don't. The value won't go up because they're no longer making cards, but the value likely will go up if the players that you're speaking of and the actual products continue to hold relevancy.
Agreed. Yep. All right, next question is from Chris Simmerall. It says, with NIL, will we see the card companies putting together college products with current student athletes? How will such product affect the card market? 100%.
I think what happened or is happening with the Overtime and Topps collaboration, I think is a basic blueprint for what we're looking at in the future when it comes to amateur athletes and cards.
Yep. I think the big thing will be how it will affect college products that come out now at the beginning of the collecting season. So Contenders draft picks is typically one of the first products of the year for football. How will that be affected when you've already gotten rookie autos of Caleb Williams or Stetson Bennett? Isn't that the quarterback's name for Georgia, Lou?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Chris Olave. If you've got their rookie autos from 3 years ago because Panini released a product during the season, how will that affect their other college rookie autos when they've got them throughout the year? I think that'll be interesting to collect college stuff. But Leaf already has college products now, right? Leaf makes high school All-American with some of these guys before they're even in college. So you can buy those guys before they play. I don't think it's any different. It'll just have licenses on them. So they'll still be collected. People will still want to scout that kind of stuff and find out who's going to be good before they are.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we haven't seen even the remote beginning of the impact of what these deals are going to bring, recruiting-wise, collective bargaining-wise, people just bypassing college altogether to take deals, people staying in college longer because they can monetize more. Saquon could, if that's 3 years later, him going back to Penn State, they could have paid him crazy money, fill the seats, etc. So I think we really haven't seen all this. My main takeaway is far more prospecting, which worries me based on biased fandom, that people are going to be aping into stuff because they think, like me, when I'm just blindly biased, that this person's going to be amazing. and then they're like drafted in the 3rd round and get cut after 4 weeks.
Next one's a good one. It's from Ty Smith. It says, as of right now, who is the best long-term hold in any of the 3 big sports: baseball, basketball, football?
Active players? Are we saying active players or not?
Anyone at all? Baseball, football, basketball. Who are you buying to hold for 10 plus years?
LeBron.
Tom Brady.
You got 3, isn't it? Who's the best? Oh, of any of the 3 big sports.
Pick one person.
Who is the
of
best
any of the 3 big
long-term hold of any of the 3 big sports?
Tom Brady.
Those aren't even the 3 big sports, in my opinion.
They are.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Interesting. We all had different answers. Tom Brady would be
I was going to say Messi. I was going to say Lionel Messi, but Jordan.
Jay, if anybody here is listening, since we had some time on this question, I would love to get some of your guys' takes on this. Who do you guys think would be the one person you can hold for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Who are you holding? Only one person. Buying them now, they're going to be worth more later. Who are you buying?
In those 3 sports specifically, Jay, we should do the IG like we do on 137 now with the boom and then our clip and then ask people.
Jason said Mahomes on the dip. Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I still think, Tyler, if you included soccer or hockey or F1 or anyone in there, I would still say Tom Brady.
No bias, I get it, but
yeah, just 7 rings, may win another.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Michael Jordan.
Brian Carr, what made Ryan choose going with Loupe? Was Whatnot considered? Did he think it would reach a larger audience than he already has? Full disclosure, I have every intention to go on Whatnot in the next 7 to 10 days. Like, I'm trying both apps. I didn't excite, and this is an interesting question, but there was no exclusive deals. Like, this wasn't like a, hey, we'll pay you to come on this app. It's just everybody's on it. It seems like an easy way to, like, we were doing live sales before, right, on Instagram. And I don't think people realize, like, when we have 500 people commenting and like claiming stuff, and then you got to track down payments and you got to
disaster scene.
It takes a whole team, and it's a lot more time. Like, there's a lot more time involved. On Loupe and Whatnot, those apps are built, specifically Loupe, because I've used it so far. I have not been on Whatnot yet. With Loupe, you get a report of every card ever purchased on there during the live sale as soon as you're done with the buyer's name, username, address, state, a way to send them the tracking number, everything. So all I have to do is put the item for sale. Somebody pays for it. It's not like a, hey, I'll pay you tomorrow and my mom gives me money. It's actually paid for. Then I get off and have a whole sheet of where to send all of these cards I can give to someone on my team, and they can get them shipped out next day. It's fire. The easeability of those apps. I think that's the word. They again, specifically Loupe, because I've been on it. It's great. The team's great. I've enjoyed it, and I will definitely continue to use Loupe before, and I'm excited to try Whatnot as well. All right, Mike Slade. Will the market ever go back to where it was 5 to 10 years ago? I recently saw an old Facebook sale post with the 2017 Prizm Brady Black Finite for $400. It reminded me how low things were not so long ago. I think personally, this is one of the reasons I am a little pickier now on what I keep long-term. Because again, I think we've talked about this before briefly, but like, I think sometimes we get lost like in the card world in the monetary numbers behind these cards, right? Like a Justin Herbert rookie auto selling for $25,000 is a ton of money, right? Like, is that going to be worth $25,000 10 years from now, 15 years from now? It may be, but if not, $25,000 now is just so much, like, it's real dollars. It's real money.
I don't want to get too heady, but the $400 in 2017 is like $80 today. And a lot of these numbers, these high-end numbers, just the US dollar, like, again, inflation, whatever. There's a lot of people that had a boatload of money that got a boatload more money in the last 18 months based on what's happening. And these numbers, I don't look at things as one-to-one. I don't think $400 in 2017 for that card. Now, if $400, it happens more on the higher end, like $600K to $1 million versus 400 to 500 type deal. I'll leave it there. That's my take. There is a little bit of that.
The other thing I would mention is a shift in how people invest their money. Like, I think people are a lot more likely to spend $1,000 today on a card or a NFT or whatever else than they were 3 years ago to buy a card. Like, they're just more willing to spend the money. I think people are more interested in quote unquote like investing their money and putting their money places than they were before, which also is a big factor in this.
I don't disagree with that at all. Aligned.
It's almost like what used to be like, oh, can I find the hip hop artist before my boys so I can put them on? Now it's, can I make an investment before other people and see it go up?
Yeah, alternative investing is definitely here to stay, and definitely is a major.
But even more than alternative, like Robinhood, like investing in Tesla. Tesla went up.
Just investing in general.
127 points yesterday. Like, you know how many people are like 18, 19 running around being like, yeah, I've been a tech dude forever. I invested $1,000 into Tesla. Now it's 2,500.
So Billy Messer asks, been meaning to ask this forever. How do you track your sales and buys? For example, you buy a lot of cards for X price. How do you track what you paid, and how do you track the cards fluctuating worth and what you need to sell to make a profit? Seems easy if you're talking 10 cards or less, but when you buy and sell as much as Ryan, how do you keep it all straight? Any program, software, or advice? So
it's my favorite thing about Ryan.
I will tell you, I have a video coming out where we bought an $800 lot on eBay, and I show people like what I looked at, like when I was buying the lot, like what is this card going to sell for conservatively? What could it realistically sell for? So I'll go through that on an eBay video. So when I first started, like a lot of what I did was just Google Sheets, right? You take the card, you put all of them on a different tab, and it just says like what you paid, eBay fees, how much you have left in it, and it tells you, like, you can just set up formulas to track how much you have in a particular lot. Now, as we've gotten bigger and it's at scale, like the big thing I always say is, like, personally, it doesn't really matter what you paid for it. That's irrelevant once you buy it. Like, if you buy a card for $100 and it goes to $10, you paying $100 doesn't make any difference, right? We talk about that a lot, like with emotion, taking emotion out of it. If the card goes from 100 to 1,000 or 100 to $10, it still doesn't matter what you paid for it. It's currently worth this. It's currently worth that. So it's just a matter of, do you want to sell it at that when it's worth a particular value? But in terms of like tracking things, typically I've used like Google Sheets and stuff like that. Ty, I think you do the same thing.
Correct.
When did you start tracking, right?
What?
When did you start tracking?
Well, I don't do, like I said, I don't do it anymore. Just with the volume, like when like 16, like 15, 16, like when I started getting more serious about it, and I was like, hey, this is like, especially when Instagram got big, I was buying deals. And I would just buy a random lot. You'd price it all out. And then, like, again, it's kind of hard to explain, but I would price out an entire deal, 10 cards, say what I think it could sell for. And then I'd set up little formulas for it to say, take off the 12% eBay fees, take off the shipping fees. How much do I have left? Right. Then I would auto deduct it from like what I spent on the lot to how much I had left in the lot. And then it would tell me like, okay, I've got these cards left. This is how much I have remaining in the lot. And then I would sell one card, and you just set up little formulas and track it. So.
Yep.
This is for Tyler, though. It says, Matt Merrill asks, what is your thoughts on the metaverse? How do we capitalize?
I believe on the metaverse, it's much more what we're doing right. This is the metaverse. You're capitalizing on it. Some homie named Matt Merrill just got his question on a show. Lou is across the water from me in Jersey. I'm in New York. Ryan's in Ohio. We're putting out a podcast. Judy, I don't know where she is off the top of my head. Jay's down in Florida. Like, you are capitalizing on the metaverse. Judy's in Astoria. Don't mean to dox everyone, but we are capitalizing on the metaverse, in my opinion. And that's my takeaway is you can make investments in certain companies. You may believe in Facebook. But to me, the metaverse is just the interconnectivity that continues to exist. The iPhone is the metaverse. That's what I got. You are capitalizing on it. If you are buying, selling cards online, if you are meeting people over social and then transitioning that relationship, that's the metaverse.
All right. So the next question is from Joaquin Lagos. It says, Joaquin, the dream here. Other than the National, are you guys going to be at more shows, West Coast trips, or Canada?
Yes, is my answer to that. You're not going to Dallas this weekend. You're going to the Ohio State game. We're not going to be in
24 hours.
Oh, you are? Friday?
Yeah, I'm trying to go Thursday afternoon, right before dealer setup, to like Friday afternoon.
That's this weekend. I can't go. We are. My gut says I'm pretty confident we'll be at that Mint Collective show in Vegas. I definitely got to get back to Dallas. Believe we're working on some eBay things for next year. There is the National. My gut says we do a little Metaverse Card Talk Live too. I plan on getting back to shows heavily.
Lou, any thoughts?
I would love to go to shows. I think for me, my thing with shows is like the time and like cost of travel plus like what you actually are bringing to the show monetarily and cards wise is like a big factor that I hadn't considered before. Like it has to be worth my time, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's fair. Like I think a lot like that's often overlooked is like how much time and money it takes to go to these shows and prepare for them and be at them and like what opportunity cost, what you're giving up to go to them.
Yeah, dude. Like it's, $200 for a flight, $300 for a hotel for a weekend, $400 for a hotel for a weekend. Like it's
The flights to Dallas this week are $455 a ticket.
it's a lot of money.
A ticket plus a hotel room. All right, last question. Adrian Zuccarelli asked, Tyler, soccer question for you. Is Mohamed Salah card stickers criminally underpriced? I say this as he is performing week after week as one of the best at the moment. Your thoughts?
I do believe so. For me, it's a longer time hold, though. Like I believe this is a great point to get in. I think I just checked. He's coming up on 45 million followers on IG. The reach of these international proper football players is insane, and he is one of the most informed players in the world at the moment. I do think here in the US, which is where a lot of the sports card consumerism has been based, but I believe it's growing internationally with soccer, and shout out D-Rob and collectibles and those that are really pushing a lot of that stuff. I don't know if something fell and Lou, that tree behind you really is great, and I like the dark clouds. I think Mo Salah, if you get the cards, I don't think there's going to be a quick like flip to be had even in the lead up to the World Cup. But I do believe if you have the ability to buy and hold Salah cards long term, looking back on it, he is going to be an absolute legend of the game. That's my take. Liverpool legend. I think they win the Premier League again this year. So do I believe they're criminally undervalued? Yes. Do I think there's a short flip to be had? No.
Maybe next week on Facebook Q&A, Lou, we will get you some questions.
No, it's okay.
Shout out to the listeners.
Lou's about to win a World Series. Let's be real.
I don't care about anything except the World Series right now. Like absolutely nothing.
I love it. All right, let's get into Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so we've done this probably 20 times. If you're new here, Jason takes all of the plays from the listeners via Twitter or Instagram, and Lou, Tyler, and I look at them live on the show. All right, the first one is from JM Collectors. It says, good afternoon. I have a submission for Play of the Week. I went to a local card show this past Saturday and was digging through $1 fireboxes when the owner greeted me and told me everything in the fireboxes was 50% off. I found this 1999 Topps Chrome Refractors Emmitt Smith card with some surface issues and decided to take the 50-cent plunge on it, among many others. When I got home, I saw comps in better condition going for around $50. I listed it right then for $29.99 oboe and woke up to a $25 offer the next morning and accepted immediately. The surface issues were mentioned in the title and description, and I made sure that they were visible in the picture of the front of the card. After shipping and eBay fees, I cleared $18.07 for a profit of $17.57.
Pretty good.
I love it. Love the dollar box plays, especially when they're 50 cents.
And
Great
it's
job.
Emmitt Smith, and it's a Cowboy.
Old school Topps Chrome.
The old school Topps Chromes are sweet. You could go to Dallas and cover your airplane costs, just grinding dollar boxes, trying to find good Cowboy stuff. If you care to.
I went to the Chantilly card show this weekend and spent most of my 7 hours straight at this card show going through value boxes.
You're such a legend.
It's a play. It's where it's at.
I'm aware. It takes real discipline.
I like to like relax and watch TV shows, and Ryan likes to like dive through dollar boxes. Like I'm not even making fun of you, by the way. I'm being
100%. I know you're not, and
Yeah.
like you couldn't be more like. I don't know about you. I'm not saying that, but like that is my thing. Like I would outside of watching Ohio State football, I would rather go to like every card show in the country and find everything underpriced. Like it's what I enjoy.
I love that so much.
Like I want to go through dollar boxes and like find the best deals. Like I just enjoy that so much. It's
I
weird.
love that.
Trust me, I get it. Like that's just what makes me like tick.
I think
love
it's
that.
dope as shit.
All right, next one, Jay. All right, this is from Extra Guacum. It says play of the week. I've been on the F1 train since early in 2020 season, so I follow the headlines and rumors pretty thoroughly. After George Russell made his debut for Mercedes at the end of last year, it was abundantly clear he would get a contract there either this year or next. So I was able to snipe this SGC 10 Sapphire variation for what I thought was a great price of $350 in June. Now, only a month after the announcement that he's going to race for Mercedes next year, I sold it for a buy it now price of $1,250, 4xing my money. This is not only a good ROI, but this is fun for me as I enjoy watching and staying in touch with my F1 as a sport in general. I mean, what a play.
It's a great job. That was like right after the stuff had come out, and it was tough to find grades. $350 probably felt like a lot at that time. He said it was a good deal, but I'm sure it felt like a decent amount of money at that time, and it's a good job to anticipate the rumors. I think the George thing with going to Mercedes is one of those where it was incredibly obvious what was going to happen, and it still took a while for the prices to catch up. Like the prices have caught up now, actually, and they probably actually reset a little bit. But great play.
Love it.
So what's the deal? He's going over to Mercedes, and he's going to pretty much be alongside and pushing Lewis, right?
He will be the second driver with Lewis, yes.
But he's the young upstart, and Lewis is kind of some want to call him over the hill, and he wants to go Tom Brady on him.
I definitely wouldn't say people say he's over the hill. I think people are wondering.
I don't know. It's deep on Twitter. People were really saying he may never.
People are confused.
Climb the mountaintop again.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take. But yeah, George, I think, is definitely the future of Mercedes.
That's the conundrum. Once you bring in the future, it's kind of hard to focus on the past, you know?
All right, next one. All right, so this is from Tin Cup Sports Cards. It says, for this play, I had a customer hit a variation Patrick Williams cracked ice on card out of Contenders basketball in one of our breaks. I asked to purchase the card, and at the time, there were no comps. Based off of other Patrick Williams sales, I offered $375, and the offer was accepted, which I thought was a great deal, as I was willing to pay more. I sent it into PSA at a $150 grade, bringing my total investment to roughly $550. The card came back with a 10, and I sold it on eBay for $4.3K after tax, netting me around $3K on the deal. Classic play. And he put his message with the guy that he hit the breaks from. He says, I do breaks on Instagram nightly, and sometimes when we hit a nice card, I try to buy it off whoever hit it. Some people frown on the practice, but it has afforded me some great opportunities and provides an instant payoff for people in our breaks. Win-win. He said, let me know if you want to sell it. The guy, he said, what's the comp? He said, I don't see anything. I'm guessing around 350 to 400. That's just my guess. And he says, clear my tab and it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good job by Tin Cup. I also, do people really get mad about that if you buy things off of a break you do?
I don't typically ask people just because the hardest part about it is, especially if you hit a nice card, right? And it's a break that's $500 and it's a $400 card. I always hate asking somebody, hey, do you want to sell the best card you hit in the break for $100 less than you just spent on the entire break? That's a little tough to do. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people again, some people might say, hey, this is shady, but there was no comps on it, right? It's kind of hard to say. In this kind of situation, I might if you're making that kind of money on it, maybe throw the guy hey, brother, did really well on this. Here's a free break spot, right? We're gonna do a couple breaks this weekend. Here's a nice break spot. Maybe throw him a bone. You made 10x on your money. Maybe throw somebody a bone on this, but it's not like he forced him to sell the card. It's not like he said, hey, brother, you can never draw my breaks again. Please
totally.
Sell this card.
I'm actually a huge fan of cashing out after I hit a card on a break because it's all right, great. I got what I wanted. And
a lot of
Man's hit him with the double eyes.
Yeah, he was planning out of there.
He wanted no part of Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
I do think, though, Ryan, to your point, And I have no interest in. I don't think, from my point of view, I don't believe Tin Cup Sports has done anything wrong here. I do think a good business play is going back to your mans and giving him a free break in something.
Yep,
I agree.
I just think that's good.
I genuinely believe Tin Cup Sports Cards didn't be like, dude, I got this for $450.
No.
It's a $1,000 card. It's a $5,000 card.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. All right, next one.
Classic play. He ended it classic play.
Oh, well, there's a lot going on here. This is from Bex __. It says WNBA play. Hey guys, love the show. I'm from Sydney, Australia, so I converted it to US dollars for you. Thank you. It says I bought a Candace Parker rookie auto from a card show at the beginning of the year. The guy hadn't had much interest in it and was struggling to move it. I had to have it and thought it was really cool. Candace is great, but I also saw the value in the card, which was a bonus. Come on, it's Candace Parker for a Hall of Famer. It says at the time there was only one sold on eBay, which is an old comp for around 200 USD, but he sold it to me for $70. Since she's just won another championship, I decided to put it up on eBay the day after the win and recently sold it for $375. I was confident I wouldn't lose money on the card because I loved it either way, but ended up being a nice payout. I'm just a small fish in a pond making plays in a big pond. Bex.
Shout out Bex. That's a great explanation.
This reminds me a lot of the Mika Parsons play. Right? You buy a card that you enjoy keeping, and when it goes up 5x, you're like, hey, let's see if we, if we make something cool. If not, we're still cool keeping it. Gets a little 375 out of card. You have $70 in. I think it's cool.
Agree. Shout out Down Under.
Yeah,
I like it.
Cool.
And Candace is a legend.
What's Rittenhouse? I don't even know what that is. WNBA Rittenhouse. Weird. Good job though.
All right, I believe that's all of them. Is there one more, Jay? Oh, there's one more. All right. So
my favorite cards. Some of my favorite cards.
Mike Falls 88 says, hey guys, love the pod. Got a play of the week for you. Nothing big, but nice return in just days. Picked up a James Robinson National Treasures Field Pass auto for $30 before the London game that I was confident they could win, which was on national TV, and hoped Robinson would play well. Listed it for $89.99 and accepted a best offer of $79.99. That's $50 profit, or about 2.5 times in just 2 days after I got the card in the mail, and then listed it. Not the most money, but quick 2x in 2 days. I'll take it 10 out of 10 times.
It's good work.
Yeah, I mean, can never go wrong buying a car. I mean, didn't even take the tape off. They both kept the tape on the top loader. Not even changing.
Yeah, it was just a quick flip.
Quick flip, man. That's pretty good. That's hard to argue with.
This is so cool. It's also why I believe, Ryan, back to the $400 sports gambling has also gotten huge since 2017. Right, the access to it. There was a lot of people that used to bet sports, but it's changed completely. People are throwing $10 bets left and right, like just for fun. Because one human may say, okay, the Jags are playing in London on national TV in the morning. I'm going to wake up and watch it, and I'm going to throw $50 on the game. And if I win, I make $50 because I'm confident on it. Which I think they won on a last-second field goal or an OT. I think they won by a field goal. I think it was a
last-second field goal on a dude that they had just signed off the practice squad that was like not even in the NFL. And
correct.
Ended up getting this.
And then Lawrence has to celebrate his first ever professional win, like over in London.
Real quick, side note, quick yes or no answer. Did Urban Meyer fly back on the same plane?
No.
I didn't think so either.
I don't know the answer, but I don't think so. So I think that's cool. Like, I think this is a sweet way to put your sports confidence into investing. And I think it just goes to show again of like, there's so many ways to turn your knowledge into 1,000% cash nowadays based on the internet, which I would just call the metaverse.
Yeah, Todd, I agree with you 100%. And I think that's why sports cards will continue to be just like gambling. Yeah, right. It'll be in demand, right? Like, if you think the Jaguars are going to win by 7 points and James Robinson is going to have 500 yards, but James Robinson only has 400 yards. If you would have bought a James Robinson rookie auto, at least you have something, even if the bet didn't cash. The tangible asset to if you believe in somebody, right? If you believe in the Jaguars winning this week, well, then buy a James Robinson rookie auto at the same price, because even if they don't win this week, but he goes off next week, you still have that one card and you still get a piece of your original investment. That's why I think sports cards will continue to be a play, is if you believe in something, especially people like this, right? No different than the Candace Parker, no different than the George Russell, right? If somebody's spending the time looking into what is coming up down the road and you're using your intuition to like, hey, this guy's going to be really good. This is a situation that's coming up. Hey, the World Cup's going to be here. Hey, there's this documentary coming out. There are things coming down the road that people can forecast, right? You're crazy to think right now if you don't think somebody's on that watches this show is like, hey, I'm making plays on Tom Brady cards because when the Man in the Arena documentary comes out and Brady stuff's all over TV, I'm going to have it just like The Last Dance. And oh, hey, there's a Magic Johnson documentary coming out. I'm looking at Magic Johnson stuff because you can buy some of his stuff cheap. And I'm looking for that. Like, people are making these kind of plays every day. This is, again, more sports and performance based. But yeah, I think that stuff is just going to continue to be a factor in cards.
Agreed. Well said. Well put.
So this is actually tough. Like, some of these I really, really like the Candace Parker one with like I bought it for a PC, but if I get to sell it, that's cool. The George Russell getting in on F1 early, buying a card, grading it, cashing out somebody from a break. James Robinson, flipping something in 2 days without even changing the picture. That's wild. That's
straight off of just like, I believe in this is going to happen and I'm just going to make a quick bet on it.
But, play to your audience. There's no chance. These are great plays. This is probably my favorite week we've had in a minute. There's no chance of taking something other than the Emmitt Smith. There's just no way.
Wow.
That is
I respect, because that's your type of play.
How you build equity in cards. Dollar boxes, $5. The value box plays, spend $100, turn it into $200 once a week for 2 years, and you have a lot more money, right? If you're willing to put in 2 hours on a Saturday, this is real. This is what I preach, that it's not always about buying $1 million cards, and that kind of stuff takes time. This is how you build up equity in cards. This is what I believe in. For sure, Emmitt Smith is my play.
Respect. George Russell's my play. F1, SGC, nice flip. Percentage-wise, actually less of a flip than your Emmitt Smith, I believe. But it's just, this is us right here.
Honestly, you could have picked any of these, and I'd be like, yeah, that's a good play. This was, to me, one of the best weeks we've had in a while. Just like, I loved all of these plays. Like I said, getting in, like you said, to our F1 and SGC early, the buying a card, cashing somebody out in a break, grading it, buying a PC card that you may end up selling later and you can make a couple $100 on, or buying a card on eBay, flipping it in 2 days, like Flip Life. Yeah, I'm for all of it. There were some really, really good plays this week.
There is one thing about the buying when you mentioned about grading, like I do think the breaker has a little bit of an advantage when they go into that based on having seen the card up close and personal. And if they're breaking a lot and knowing and grading, they probably may have been aware of it being a 10, and not that they need to disclose that, but I think that they have a little bit of advantage leverage in that situation.
I think you can disclose that it's in good condition, but PSA is not exactly giving out 10s like they're nothing. So I think it's, I'm not as big on that because I think you can tell somebody it's in good condition, but Contenders is not an easy grade and PSA is not giving out 10s like it's nothing. That conversation, that sale's a lot different if that's a PSA 8, not a PSA 10.
Sure.
And the grader took that risk on that card, sending that in. So I feel a little differently about the grade.
Fair. And a lot of people don't care to grade cards.
Agreed. All right. So Extra Guacum won the play of the week this week with the George Russell SGC 10. So that's all we got for play of the week.
Did we just assume Lou was in on that, or did he give a quick head shake?
No, I did. I gave a head shake.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was letting you guys know that.
Lou, before we go into latest launch, what's up with the flight?
What can I do for you?
What's up?
The flight is not looking great at the moment, and apparently my hotel isn't working out super well either. So we got issues, but we're working on it.
Astros are in the series. So
Astros in 6.
Astros
in 5. Sorry.
In 5. Who's the MVP?
Yordan Alvarez.
Altuve.
Right.
What about our guy?
Who?
Your guy,
Breggy?
but our guy. Yeah.
He's been a little. He's had a tough postseason. Honestly, I was actually thinking last night
I think he breaks out.
we haven't had the Alex Bregman game yet, and it's coming.
I agree.
Because when that boy gets going,
I just can't believe Lou. I mean, that's bold, man. Guaranteeing a World Series. Props.
no, right? Not only am I guaranteeing it, I'm saying Astros in 5.
Shout out Bregman, fan of the pod, fan of the people.
Maybe clip this. See if he'll come on Card Talk. Do a little post World Series Card Talk Q&A.
Nat Turner is coming on.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was awesome. I was watching the Knicks Celtics game Tyler was at on TV, chilling in bed one day, and I'm like, I think that's Nat Turner. I'm like, Reg, rewind it. And sure enough, Nat Turner chilling baseline. And Reg's like, is that the PSA guy? I'm like, yep, sure is. And tweeted it. I'm like, Nat Turner's at the game. How cool is this? And someone said, Nat, is this you? And he's like, yep. And Ty was like, hey, would love to have you on the podcast. You want to chat cards?
I was so jacked
He's
up leaving the game.
He's like, I'm in.
Jacked.
I'm like, let's go.
Yep. So we'll get that scheduled. We'll get that scheduled for sure.
That'll be a fun one. All right,
Yep.
bigger release week this week. A couple things coming out. Got some baseball, football, and basketball. First things first, Absolute Football comes out Wednesday. We've talked about that before. Important release that will do very well, especially breaks. It's not a ton of cards. It's got serial numbered, 5 hits a box, potentials at KABOOMS. Absolute, definitely going to be a solid product this year. Breakers will love it. There'll be a lot of breaks in that stuff. Have high expectations for Absolute. Mosaic Choice Baseball, Panini Recon Basketball. So Recon, first featured, to my understanding, is first featured in Chronicles, now becoming full release. We talked about that before with what Chronicles is. When they see enough demand in the product for that particular set, it turns into its full line. First time ever Recon Basketball releases Wednesday. Also Wednesday, Topps Heritage Minor League Baseball. Not sure if Lou can talk much about that. Topps Update
I thought the minor
series.
leagues don't even exist anymore.
they do, but it's definitely weird.
And then Topps Update Series Baseball comes out Friday.
I still have some of that Topps sealed Series 2 Gary V set. Not the Gary V set, the one where the inserts were in there.
Tatis in there.
I might rip that. Huh.
So solid release week. Heck of an episode. We knew it was going to be fun going
This
in.
was fun. This was a good one.
This is a good one.
Shout out
Ty,
Judy. Shout out Jay.
Real quick.
Let's do it. Go there.
Prediction. Give me a score.
What is this? Oh, Penn State, Ohio State. Is that what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
My prediction is 24-20 Ohio State.
45-14 Ohio State.
I like that a lot.
45-14 Ohio State.
All right. Y'all are like that right now?
Our
Is
offense
Stroud that dude?
is good. Yeah. Our offense is like I hope I'm right, but my confidence is at an all-time high right now seeing that offense. I mean, they're number one in the nation in so many different categories. Like you have Olave, Wilson, Ruckert, the number one running back in the country, and Henderson averaging 9 yards a carry. Like Stroud's 2 in the Heisman candidate in the Heisman voting right now, and in odds.
How are y'all doing on turnovers? You've been creating a lot.
A couple interceptions. Like we had 4 straight games with an INT touchdown, pick 6.
Ty, it must be nice to
a quarterback.
Must be nice to just play cupcakes for 4 weeks in a row and then think you're the best team in the country again.
Totally. That's why I went 24-20 because his overconfidence and my lack of confidence were probably both a little bit wrong.
Must be nice to play
I will
Tulsa
say
in Maryland.
Yeah, our backup quarterback is leading Kentucky right now, and we didn't have enough faith in our current backup quarterback to play him a single snap when my man Sean Cliff, love the guy, but he couldn't throw the ball, he couldn't run the ball, he couldn't move his feet, and he still played the whole game.
I'm pumped. No idea how excited I am to be there.
It's going to be lit.
What do you think will be a close? Here's a good question for you. What do you think will be a closer game, the Penn State game or the Michigan game?
Penn State. Or no, Michigan. Michigan by a mile.
Who's Michigan?
You think Michigan's good?
Who do I think is going to win? Michigan.
Wait, hold
what?
on.
What are
I'm
we talking
saying,
about?
what game do you think is going to be closer, the Ohio State
For
Penn State
you.
game
Oh,
or
I
the
thought you meant
Ohio State
Michigan
Michigan game?
this weekend. Which game will be
No.
closer? Michigan.
He's
Ohio
saying
State?
who gives Ohio State a better game, Michigan or Penn
Michigan.
State?
Michigan by a mile.
Where's the game,
Interesting.
Ohio State or Michigan?
By a
Okay,
mile.
well that's one
Michigan
aspect
State
of it.
might be a tougher game than Penn State. Sean Clifford is terrible. They
Yikes,
lost to
guy.
Illinois in 9 overtimes and could not gain 3 yards for 6 straight
Yikes,
Oh, he's
possessions.
got 2 broken ribs. Relax, guy.
Yeah, guy.
Brother. 9 overtimes versus Illinois?
9 overtimes isn't real. It's 2-point fucking conversion game, okay?
That's true, by the way.
It's not 9 overtimes. Everyone, you lost in 9 overtimes.
3
I'm like,
yards,
yeah,
6 straight times. Oh,
might as
man,
well
I
have
can't
been
wait.
practice. But yeah, we're going to get buried.
No, but yeah, there's actually some good college football games this weekend, so it'll be fun.
Michigan State's this weekend?
Mhm.
That's fire.
Yeah, because if Penn State would have lost, the ESPN would have been in Columbus. So shout out to Penn State for losing.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Ty, may the best team win.
Fair and facts.
Lou, good luck to your Astros, especially since you guaranteed it.
You did guarantee it.
Not worried at all.
Go Bregman.
Go Braves. That's all I got for now.
Peace.